Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we unfortunately have to talk about Twitter because Twitter is making the world less secure. Now, here's what's going on, and this one actually seriously really ticks me off here. I think this is a beyond stupid move by Twitter, and honestly, I can't believe they're doing this. I meant to report on this actually a few days ago, but it's been a crazy couple of days, so I did not have a chance. I finally had a chance to get a breather and really dive into this one in the way I wanted. Now, there are a million sources on this one, so you might have heard some of this news. I want to give you my take on it, but I'm cribbing from the Wrap here, who had a very concise write-up on this, and so thank you very much for that. Now, here's what happened. A week ago Friday, Twitter announced that it will only allow paid subscribers of the Twitter Blue feature to use text messages for two-factor authentication to secure their accounts. And according to a tweet from Twitter, and I quote, "Effective March 20, 2023, only Twitter Blue users will be able to use text messages as their two-factor authentication method. Other accounts can use an authentication app or security key for 2FA," end quote. Now, before this announcement, all users were able to use basically 2FA to keep their accounts secure. And basically that requires a second method of authentication. And so a lot of account holders, the vast majority of which, from what I understand, use text message, meaning you've got that username and password, you're logging into the platform, and once you've logged in with your username and password, it immediately sends you a text message. You get a code that's good for X amount of minutes. You punch in the code, and then it gets you in. So if I steal your username and password, I don't have physical access to your phone, and therefore you are secure because I'm not going to get that code, again, if I've stolen your password or found it in the dark web somewhere. So Twitter allows 2FA or multi-factor authentication as well, two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication by text message, authenticator app, or a physical security key that you can plug into a device or your computer. Now, according to Reuters, Twitter said that phone number-based 2FA is being abused by quote-unquote bad actors, according to a blog post that basically that their initial tweet linked to. This isn't the first time that Elon Musk has decided to charge for something that was essentially free. Twitter Blue itself, or verified user accounts, were once free for politicians, famous personalities, journalists, other public figures, and now it's open to anybody who subscribes to Twitter Blue. Which is actually really interesting because prior to Elon Musk taking it over, I actually was, or I guess I should say I still am, subscribed to that because it gives me the ability to edit my tweets. I use, obviously, Twitter as one of my public accounts and all of that, and so it's very nice to have it's very nice to be able to edit your tweets and all of that, especially when you make a mistake in typing, which I do a lot, so there you go. But for those that are interested in not Twitter Blue and not paying the $8 a month or whatever, you basically can still keep your account secure by using an authenticator app or that security key. But here's why this is a very serious problem. Most people, and I mean this in all honesty, just coming from the cybersecurity standpoint and talking with other cybersecurity colleagues who have shared similar experiences with me, most users really don't understand this process. And so it's low-hanging fruit to essentially have an SMS-based or text message-based multi-factor authentication. It's very easy to set up. You just punch in your phone number and off you go. You don't have to download an authenticator app. You don't have to link it via QR code, and all those kinds of things, which I'm to be perfectly honest, is actually a little complicated for some users. So if they're taking that away, what I predict is going to happen, and I'm not the only one predicting this, is that essentially a lot of users are going to be like, well, I'm not going to take the time to figure this out. I don't want to download an authenticator app like Google Authenticator or Authy or take your pick. And so I'm just going to disable this, and now you're less secure. Now, I'm not saying that text message authentication is as a second factor authentication is the best thing that you can do. In fact, we don't recommend using text message authentication because SMS hijacking is so prevalent these days, but it's definitely better than nothing. And what's going to happen is come March 20th, when these authenticators simply get turned off and Twitter prompts you to go download another authenticator and all of that, there is going to be millions, and I mean literally millions of users that say, I'm not going to do that. So I think what we really need to do is have a big educational push. If they want to do something like this, they should really be forcing people into authenticator apps by making it as easy as possible, giving people instructions, really nudging them in this direction as opposed to we're just going to cut it off, which seems to be what is happening right now. I went looking for news because again, this broke about 6-7 days ago or so. And so I went looking for news from the last 24 hours. Has this actually changed? Have they reversed this? Have they done anything? And I can't find any news articles that say no, they're not. And so I can understand why they're saying this is abused by bad actors. Maybe, the text message verification system is not perfect because, quite frankly, it's not, just in general due to SMS hijacking, but it's much better than nothing. So I really do think that this is going to keep a lot of people off of the multi-factor authentication option that they're used to, and they're not going to basically take the time to go figure that out. Oh, it's Twitter, who cares, blah, 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 blah. I think that's a huge issue. Not everybody, like I said, is tech savvy. I can't think of, my mother would not be able to figure that out without an awful lot of help. And if somebody like me wasn't in her life, there'd be no way that she'd be able to figure it out. But punching in her phone number, that she gets. And I think that's the big thing, and that's the big takeaway here. So I think Twitter, honestly, bad actors aside, is doing a serious disservice to the world, essentially, by having this there. So that is your news of the day. If you're a Twitter user and you're not verified in any which way, shape, or form, whether it's Legacy or Blue or take your pick, understand that option is going away. And if you don't understand authenticator apps, I highly recommend you get educated on them. I highly recommend you move everything in your life to it, not just Twitter, but Facebook and Amazon and Google, and take your pick. It's much more secure than using text-based authentication or simply not using two-factor at all. And that is the critical thing here. People will stop using 2FA on Twitter, and that makes the world a lot less secure because we have a lot more targets now that are more easy to break. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well, all of which have multi-factor authentication via SMS until Twitter kills that one, and authenticator app and hardware tokens. And please, please, please stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private and make sure you're enabling good 2FA or MFA in your life via an authenticator app or something else. Take care.